Recording.
Finally.
Yes, finally. We had some issues around one of our members being able to get online. So I would like to welcome everybody. Happy New Year. It's our first meeting of 2025. Welcome to the Bridgewater Conservation meeting. It is January 9th, 2025. We do have a quorum, so we'll open the meeting. It is now, what? I don't have my
5:43.
5:43. Thank you. And for the record, members and staff present, we have Harry Bailey is here via his phone and through the speaker from Marilyn's desktop. Okay, he wasn't able to get on, but he is on the meeting.
Harry, can you verify that you can hear that?
I can hear everything that's being said.
Okay.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
We also have Marilyn McDonald and myself, Wendy Smith, and Caitlin Putt, our new conservation agent. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Disclosure pursuant to Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom. The Zoom link, meeting ID number, and the phone number for getting through on the phone is all located on the bridgewaterma.org website. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order. We have public hearings, old business. We have request for determination of applicability, 233 Broad Street. We have a notice of intent for 0 Bedford Street. We have new business, a notice of intent for 630 Elm Street, notice of intent for 1968 South Street. Sorry, I'm having issues myself. We have some administrative items, certificate of compliance for 283 Vernon, certificate of compliance for 9 South Farm Way, an ORAD extension request, Lakeshore cease and desist, the DOT Vernon Street Bridge, 0 Bedford, it's an enforcement order update, 0 Prison Road, State Prison Road, Rainbow's End update, open meeting law complaints discussion, 2025 Conservation Commission meeting schedule. And then we have a list of 12 meetings, I think, that we need to vote on. So with that, let me get back to this. And under old business. So we have first up is our request for determination of applicability. It's 233 Broad Street, map 21, lot 156. The applicant representative is McDonald's USA LLC, Bowler Engineering. So is who's on for Jared?
Yes.
You want to
That's
unmute?
correct.
Oh, you are unmuted. Okay, so do you just want to update us on the project and what is going on? Because it's been a while since we've had you up.
Yep. So we are requesting a determination of applicability for our site for site improvements at the McDonald's restaurant. I had previously presented the site improvements and shown the limit of the resource areas on the 14th of November at that meeting. So I can run through the presentation if you wanted to see it
I don't
again,
know
but-
I don't know if we necessarily
I
need
think
that.
we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
What's that, Marilyn?
I mean, we've had the presentation. I think we're good on that. I know I am.
Yeah. I think, and our main issue wasn't there something, was a typo, something?
Yep, I had submitted updated drawings to Caitlin with an
Yeah.
updated address, just correcting that address number to 233 Broad Street.
Right.
And then there was a typo on our end of a DEP file number. You do not, and we apologize. That was a long meeting. I didn't even catch that. You do not need a DEP file number on an IDA unless we say positive determination, go back and do a notice of intent. So you do not need a DEP file number. So I apologize for that.
Thank you. Perfect.
All right.
But I think as long as they have their addresses in play, Harry, do you have any questions on this? You remember the McDonald filing?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay, Marilyn, do you have any comments about it?
No, just that, everything was fine. It was just that DEP number threw us off and then they corrected their addresses. So I am completely fine with it. They were going to work on the warmer French fries from what I remembered. So it's part of the order. So I think
That's a good one.
we were good in that. If nobody in the public has any comments, I think we can then motion.
Right. Are there any abutters that have any questions or concerns about it? You can use the raise a hand feature that's on the bottom of Zoom, or you can try to get Caitlin's attention.
Let me look. I am not seeing anybody, Chair.
All right, excellent. So commission members, do we have enough information to close the public hearing?
I would make a motion for chair to entertain that. I'll make a motion to close request for determine the applicability of 233 Broad Street, map 21 and lot 156.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Harry. A second. And then do we have a motion for negative determination?
Yep, I'm gonna make a motion for the chair for a negative determination for 233 Broad Street, map 21, lot 156.
Second.
Thank you, Harry. So with that, we are all set.
Chair, do you
roll
need a
call
roll
vote.
call vote?
Oh,
Roll
roll
call, yeah,
call vote,
roll call
yes.
vote.
Thank you. These lack of
I
meeting.
think
I
we
got
missed it
you.
on the first one too, if you want.
Me off.
Did we miss it on the first one too, on the close?
Yeah, so let's do roll call for close and roll call for negative.
Okay,
determination.
so roll call for close of the public hearing. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. And then we'll do a roll call vote for the motion for a negative determination.
Aye.
Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye.
Sorry,
All
we may have missed that one too.
We're all set now, Jared. You're all set.
All right.
Thank you all. Have a nice night.
Have a great new year. Thank you, Jared.
too.
You as well. Thanks.
Okay, next up under old business, we have a notice of intent for 0 Bedford Street, map 75, lot 57. Oh, the numbers are reversed. Applicant representative is Grady Consulting LLC. The DEP file number is SE 116-1552. It is an old business, so we've opened it already. So someone from Grady on that wants to just share on this?
Sure. Good evening, Kevin Grady from Grady Consulting, representing the applicants for the notice of intent. Is it okay if I share my screen to?
Yeah, Kevin, let me just make you a co-host so you can share.
I just
all right.
noticed I left my closet open.
All right, you should be all set to share.
What's he got in his closet?
Well, there's some coats and then there's other stuff.
Need him today, buddy.
Now everybody knows what's in there. Let's see. There we go. Everybody see my screen there?
Yes.
So the proposed project is for the construction of commercial buildings, contractor base, essentially. The existing condition of the site, as you know, was a landscape yard. It was pretty much worked over, gravel, no trees, no vegetation really, all the way back and around this rear parcel here. The wetlands resource area was delineated by John Zimmer of South River Environmental, December of last year. You can see the dotted line and the flags delineating the resource area. You can see the tree line. We located individual trees along the tree line and also some of the canopy there. So the amount of vegetation on this lot is limited. And the rest was gravel and piles and stockpiles and landscape. So the applicant, our initial submittal included a building in the rear here and a driveway that went through to the rear. The applicant has decided for business purposes and also working with the planning board to eliminate this. So we're proposing less work in this vicinity, which also is a pinch point for the wetlands resource area. The 25 foot no activity line is demarcated by this red line here. We're proposing no work within that zone. Work within the 100 foot buffer, which is this line here, includes the construction of the access driveway, parking, a portion of this building, this corner here, and utilities, which I'll get to momentarily. The site is flat, pretty much, except for up at Bedford Street. So Bedford Street is at elevation 76, and then the site drops off to 70. So it drops 6 feet, pretty much right at the front of the lot. So we need to build the driveway over here to gain elevation or reduce elevation to get down to the site to help try and minimize the fill. As you can see, there is some contouring along the edge here. We do need to fill the site for both accessing from Bedford Street and also for the construction of stormwater and utilities. Just wonder if I had a separate. Okay. So the utilities include town sewer that comes out over here, which is outside the 100 foot buffer zone. Water is in the middle of the lot. They have a 2-inch water service here, and that's also outside the buffer zone. Electric is overhead off of utility pole here. So there's the utilities. The stormwater drainage system, which we reviewed with Greg, who I see on the meeting, and the planning board, consists of a few catch basins. Stormwater from the parking lot is routed to these catch basin inlets, which are shown with the red squares on them, which I believe are probably silt bags for during construction. Then it's routed through manholes, a oil and grit separator, and then a subsurface drainage system with an overflow that goes out this way and discharges to the rear of the property. Next sheet is, this is a profile for constructing the driveway and utilities. It's more for contractor construction purposes. Landscape sheet. We are proposing some decorative landscape out at the entrance, typical grasses in the front here. Then the rest of it is crushed stone. This hatched area here is all crushed stone. The applicant would like to do as little maintenance as possible. So he's looking for more of a zero maintenance type landscape around these commercial buildings. So there'll be a weed barrier, and then there'll be basically crushed bluestone or some sort of crushed stone around the buildings. This dotted light green hatch is New England conservation mix. So between the proposed development and the existing tree line resource area, we're looking to put in New England conservation mix, which obviously would be good for habitat, site stabilization, et cetera. And then you can see the rear of this. Basically, this whole area is void of vegetation and that's going to be loamed and seeded. So pretty much get good site landscape coverage and stabilization of the lot and vegetation, habitat, etc. Then we have
Can I
some.
just ask a question real quick?
Sure, absolutely.
In that the plan that you just had up, what is the yellow, like that's along the border of like the driveway parking lot area? What's the yellow?
So it's a crushed stone shoulder, so it's more
Oh,
crushed
okay,
stone.
I can see it.
So, yep, so we just need a shoulder on over the edge of pavement for bad drivers, I guess. You got to give them a little room for error there. So it's a
Mhm.
24-foot wide drive, and then you have 3-foot shoulders on each side, so
Okay.
30 feet. This isn't going to be a major large truck access type business. This is more of a carpentry type business that's proposed currently. There's multiple uses that are allowed in the zone, so that could change, but that's the intention at the moment.
Yep. Well, it doesn't look real big for any, for like big trucks
It's-
being able
yeah.
to pull out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's not
was
a
just curious
distribution
as like,
center.
what's at the top of where the elevation begins to go down? Like what's stopping anybody from going off the shoulder of the driveway or whatever, so
Understood.
that's good. Thanks.
Sure. Again, details for
Mhm.
construction, details for construction, pre and post development plans for the stormwater. Again, it's been reviewed with the planning board. We've closed the planning board hearing. They've issued their approval with conditions. And here's the lighting plan. It's all wall packs with down lighting. There's a couple bollards at the front entrance, I believe. So it's not going to cast light into the resource area, et cetera. It's well thought out and is night sky compliant.
Nice, yeah.
So the in this back triangle, we worked with the planning board, and this abutter here. This drainage basin overflows to the back here, and they were concerned that the grading in here, the way it is, was blocking this from being able to outlet. So we worked with the planning board and we added a crushed stone trench in this area here. And that was one of their conditions of approval. So we submitted that to them as well.
Nice.
So that should clear up any of that. So I think the project as presented is an improvement to the site and meets the wetlands protection requirements and doesn't have any adverse impacts to the resource area. So I'd be happy to take any questions. Oh, we do have erosion controls too, Jen. So we have a
Okay, yeah.
silt sock along the bottom of the slope here on between the work and the resource area. We have silt sacks in the catch basins after they're put in until slope stabilization. We also have a construction entrance.
Great. Thank you. Nice
Thanks.
job.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask Caitlin, do you have anything that you wanna say with this or add to it? Or I think you went out there with Marilyn, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Marilyn and I went out there yesterday, just to verify the wetlands line, and we didn't have a problem with it. Everything looked good. So I don't have any concerns. Marilyn, I don't know if you have anything more to add.
You're muted.
Sorry, my
There
husband
she
was
is.
burning something out there, so like, what are you burning? No, I went out there with Caitlin, no issues, solid wetland line, I verified the wetland line, no issues with the wetland line at all. And it sounds like and it looks like they did a good job making changes with our planning board, so I really don't have any issues on this. Harry, do you know the area? Do you need to go out and take a look, or what, any questions?
You looked at it.
Okay, all right. So I don't have anything further. Unless we have Greg on it, he looked at this from project. If he wants to add anything from a stormwater point of view that the conservation should know of, we'd be happy to take that.
I did review it with the planning board, and there was a few iterations that Grady Consultant tweaked and modified, and all the comments were satisfied, and the planning board approved it, so I don't have any issues with stormwater.
I saw your letter to Pat Driscoll. Thank you. Okay. So, I mean, from an engineering point, from a wetlands point, I think it's
Looks
well
good.
done. I don't have any issues. If you want to open it up to
Okay.
anybody else?
Yep. Do we have any abutters that are on, that would like to share a thought or a concern or have any questions? You can use the raise your hand feature or wave at Caitlin.
I'm not seeing anybody, Chair.
Okay, great, thanks. So commission members, do we have enough information to close the public hearing?
I think we do. I will make a motion to close notice of intent, 0 Bedford Street, map 75, lot 57.
Second.
Thank you, Harry. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
myself, Wendy, aye. And now we need a motion to approve.
Yep, I would make a motion to approve. Notice of intent, 0 Bedford Street, map 75, lot 57, with standard conditions. I don't see anything that we need to elaborate on.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. And a roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
thank you, and myself, Wendy, aye.
Great.
Okay,
Good. Thank
so,
you.
Mr.
Thank-
Grady, you're all set. Thank you so
Alright.
much for your work.
Appreciate the time. Have a good night.
Alrighty. You too.
Happy New Year.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Thanks. Okay, next up, new business. We have is this the one that, okay.
Are you
So-
home or are you out with Richie?
Caitlin, I
Home.
think you can.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying this
Everybody
weather?
else,
Everyone make sure you're
Yeah,
muted.
that's what I thought.
What?
you
Hey,
should
for
have
this,
control
for
over
the
that.
timing of the lawn and these people wanting the fence,
Guys,
Looks like
hello,
from
you
their
need to be
email.
unmuted. Anybody
got
on an iPad, you need to be unmuted. Thank you.
All right, so
All right, yeah, so next up, we have new business. We have a notice of intent for 630 Elm Street, map 44, lot 10. The applicant representative is Justin Devaney, PMP Consulting. The DEP file number is SE 116-1559. I will say that we are opening and closing this, or it's being withdrawn, but I need to find my ad because I have to open it. And I just have to find the right one because I had to take pictures. Oh, great. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Oh. I think I found it. I had to take pictures. I've been having issues with my computer. Caitlin, you don't by chance have it, do you? Like I have. I
let
don't
me see
have.
if I can pull up.
I think I approved the
file.
notification for, yeah, is this 6:30?
Yeah,
Yep, all right. In accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaws, and the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on December 12th, 2024 for the notice filed by JW Elm Street LLC. The applicant proposes to construct a commercial building parking associated with utilities, drainage, and site grading. The property is owned by JW Elm Street LLC and is located at 630 Elm Street, map 44, lot 10. Please contact Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location of the link or for virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewater Mass at least 48 hours prior to meeting. They did have the green cards and all the abutters notices attached. So Wendy, you are now good to read into the withdrawal.
okay. So now I'm gonna read into the record a request that was sent December 27th, 2024. It was addressed to Ms. Caitlin Putt, Bridgewater Conservation Commission, 66 Central Square, Bridgewater, Mass. 02324, regarding a withdrawal for 630 Elm Street, PMP project number 2024-008. To Ms. Putt and members of the commission, we would like to thank you for your time. PMP is withdrawing the application for the notice of intent at 630 Elm Street. If you have any questions regarding this letter, please do not hesitate to contact me at 508-378-3421. Thank you, PMP Consulting, Samantha Cripps, Civil Site Designer. So with that, I forget what we said we were going to do. Are we just going to
You can just make a motion to accept
make a
withdrawal.
motion to accept the
closing it at the same
withdrawal?
time. Yep.
Okay,
So I would make a motion to close with accepting the letter of withdrawal.
Second,
thank you, Harry. Roll call vote, Marilyn?
Aye.
Harry?
aye.
And myself, Wendy? Aye.
Come back to see us when they want us.
Yep. Okay, back to my agenda on my phone. Next up, we have new business, notice of intent, 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. The applicant representative is Mark McLeod, J.K. Holmgren Engineering LLC. The DEP file number is SE 116-1560. And I do believe that I came across my letter for this one. Okay, I have it. So 1968 South Street legal notice. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, SS 40, and the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on December 12th, 2024. This was supposed to have been for last month and we had to cancel, no quorum. For a notice of intent filed by Mark McLeod. The applicant proposes to construct a drainage basin within the buffer zone to support a previously approved two-lot subdivision at 1968 South Street, Bridgewater. Property is owned by Mark McLeod and is located at 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location of link for virtual participation. All interested parties are encouraged to attend. Agenda can be found at www.bridgewaterma.org at least 48 hours prior to the meeting date. And abutters were notified. And with that, I think, who is on for this project?
Scott Farrier from J.K. Holmgren Engineering, Madam Chair.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you. Good evening, Commission members.
Good.
We have a notice of intent application, as you read, for 1968 South Street. It's a little bit of an interesting case. It's a two-lot subdivision that the commission previously approved back in July of 2020. We received conservation approval in July of 2020, received planning board approval in September of 2020. Back when we first started working at it, Mr. McLeod is my client. He's has the property under agreement. He's hoping to construct the approved roadway and build two homes for his children on either of the two brand new lots. When Mark came to my office with the project, the approvals from both planning board and conservation had just expired, literally a month before he walked in the door. So because of that, we started diving into it and kind of looked at ways that we could perhaps make the design a little bit better. So Mark owns Ramco Construction, who's a general contractor, does a lot of roadway and parking lot work. And Mark looked at the approved design, and one issue he had was that the road was a crowned roadway and had drainage ditches on either side of the road, and would require a culvert to get the driveway onto each of the individual house lots. And beyond that, it had kind of a large detention basin approved right next door to what would be his daughter's home. And he felt like his daughter was kind of getting shortchanged. His son had a nice lot with no impediments at all, and his daughter had a lot with a detention basin right on it. So not wanting her to give him grief for the rest of his life, we decided to do a kind of a new design. So we took the roadway we kept the layout and the lot layout exactly the way they were previously approved, but we basically super elevated the roadway. We tipped it instead of having it crowned. So in doing so, we were able to eliminate the culverts for the driveway. And we also took the detention basin and relocated it a little further downstream, closer to your wetland resource area, and a little bit more into your wetland buffer zone. So we pretty much have the exact same design that you folks had approved back in 2020. It'll still be 2 brand new house lots. The houses, at this point, we figure the houses, everything pertaining to the home construction will be out of your buffer zone. We showed them in a general manner on this plan just for informational purposes, but in no way is that intended to be the final design or exclude the requirement for a future filing for those lots if the work does fall within your buffer zone. So there's a chance that those individual homes would come before you down the road. But for now, the work in the buffer zone is the construction of a detention basin that falls within your 100-foot buffer zone. That's the reason for the notice of intent filing. Subsequent to our filing, the governor came up with her new rule that basically would have given us an extension since the project would have expired between January of 23 and January of 25. So we would have received an extension on that, but it would have forced us to go with the old design that Mr. McLeod wasn't happy with anyway. So so that is what we have before you, Madam Chair. The wetlands line was redelineated by environmental research and consultants back in the summertime. That's the line that's shown on the attached plans that went with the application. It's pretty much in the exact same location as the previously approved line flagged by Ken Thompson back in 2020. So over that 4-year period, the line really didn't shift all that much. So buffer zone impacts are pretty much the same, as I said, except for the detention basin getting a little further down slope, just to give a better, more clean lot for that first lot, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right, thank you. Who did you say the wetlands, who did the delineation?
Brad Holmes from Environmental Consulting,
Oh, right, okay.
ECR. And that was in August, actually, August 6th, he did the
Okay.
delineation. And
Right.
at the time, he did say there were still some nubs on the flag from Ken Thompson's previous flagging that you folks had approved. He did see some of the nubs, but obviously not all that many, and certainly no flagging remaining from that delineation of 4 years ago.
Okay, and that was by Ken Thompson.
Correct.
Now, do you have any plans that you wanted to show us, or you're just waiting to see what happens? Or I don't know if Marilyn, I don't know. Because I know that I think you went out, and did Caitlin go out too?
I did. Scott, I also enabled you to share your screen if you want to share that with us.
All right.
There we go.
I think I'm sharing now.
Yes.
Yep.
Great. All right. So just to reiterate, folks, Mansion Way was the approved roadway, a cul-de-sac layout. It created these 2 lots that I'm moving my cursor over. The previously approved detention basin was right between the 2 houses. And as I said, it kind of greatly impacted Mr. McLeod's daughter's lot, who's over here. So what we did was pretty much take almost that exact same detention basin and shifted it further towards the back, downstream towards the BVW, still outside of your 25-foot buffer zone, but it just got it further away just to allow a little bit better of a lot for this lot over here. The buffer zone is shown. As I said, the home construction is by no means final in these lots, and we fully intend, certainly on this lot here that I'm highlighting, to have an individual filing with the commission once the homeowner decides exactly what they want to do for a home size and placement. So again, it was just there for informational purposes. But that's all we did. We essentially kept the roadways in the exact same location. The roadway layout is the same, and the drainage is just going down the lot into a detention basin similar to what you folks had already approved.
Okay. Marilyn, do you have any questions? You're muted.
Let me unmute myself this time. Yeah, I was out there with Caitlin and we took a walk around, and what I wanted to do was get a jump on the wetland line, because we did verify that there wasn't an ANRAD on it and it expired. So we took a good look. The only thing is, I'm just having problems with a couple of the flags. You know, it was a tough day. One, you can't see vegetation. Two, you couldn't even auger. Freezing. So, just around those flags, like 830, 829, I'm gonna need, and that's where you get close with that detention bed with the 25. So, I mean, parts of it is very clear to me, but again, if I can't be 100%, I don't want to make the call if I can't say it's 100%. So I would like a second set of eyes, you know, to go out and take a look at that area. Because I mean, Caitlin, you were right there with me too. Your thoughts were we were kind of standing on like a sponge. So that area was tough for me to call, is what I'm saying. I want somebody else to take a look at it. I don't know, Harry, are you there?
I'm here.
Is that something you can go down and take a look at with me, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Figure it out.
All right. So I think if Harry can go with me, that would avoid us pulling in a wetlands person just to, you know, take a look. I definitely just wanted a second set of eyes, and this will, you know, like I say, continue it for one meeting. But I'm sorry, I was trying to get a jump on it for you, and I just got snagged with those couple of areas. So
Nope, that's fine and understandable. There's a pretty good slope there. It's, you know, there's definitely some uneven terrain. As I said, it lines up almost perfectly with Ken Thompson's, but even having said that, if, you know, if there's a small adjustment, doesn't really affect us all that much. We could
Yeah,
certainly move the basin, you know, further from the wetland if need be. So I certainly understand, Marilyn, if you know, if we can get that done before the next meeting, and if you folks do find that there's a small adjustment to be made, we certainly don't have a problem.
yeah, if we feel we need to move a flag, again, with good faith, I didn't want to
Sure.
make that call on my own. I was like a
Understood.
collaboration when I have an issue. If it's a straight line, there's no problem. Like, yeah, great. But yeah, so I'll take Harry down there before the next meeting, and we'll do a good look at, especially that area that me and Caitlin were talking about, that A29, that area there when you got in a little closer. That was where my area of concern was.
Oh.
But
Hopefully it's warmer than it was yesterday when you go back
Yeah.
up.
I don't even know why I took the auger out. That wasn't happening.
It would have been a good day to
Wishful
call in
thinking.
sick, to be
It
honest.
helped you down the slope though.
It
Lauren.
helps to get on the slope, so
It's a good crutch.
yeah, and I don't see any problems after that. I really don't. Just in
Okay.
good faith, if I'm gonna call a line, I want to call it right.
Understood. Thank you.
So, yeah. And then Harry, any other questions? We'll go down before the next meeting.
No, I think we can, you know all the areas, so we'll
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, like I say, it's like having another doctor with you. It's like let's see what the patient's looking like. Was Greg on here for this project too, or was he good? I don't see him anymore. I guess he's good.
Yeah, I had a few comments. I think they met the 44% TSS requirement with the infiltration drain and other drainage things going before it goes into the detention basin. Even though it's a 2-lot subdivision, it is near an outstanding water resource. It's, you know, it's the natural heritage habitat.
Yep.
My question is, did they have informed natural heritage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. We sent them the package, and we just got a blessing from them yesterday, actually, either yesterday or the day before, but we just got a clean bill of health from them this week.
Nice.
And I believe I forwarded that to Caitlin.
You did. I added that in the shared file for you, commissioners.
And I don't know if Mr. Faria saw my comments.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay. I had one other comment about CB2.
Okay.
CB2 is located in a watershed. If you looked at the watershed plan, that watershed bypasses the basin, but with that catch basin where it is, part of that watershed would get routed through the basin.
Okay.
I believe that was pretty much the only thing I had.
All right, we can certainly take a look at that. Make an adjustment if we need to. That would be fine.
Thanks, Greg.
Sure.
I think we're good. Wendy, you wanna check
Okay.
with anybody?
Yeah, so, do we want to just make a motion to continue
Well, we
it?
gotta check with anybody with the butters.
Oh,
already.
yeah, sorry. Any abutters on that have any questions, concerns, thoughts? Raise your
Hi,
hand.
I'm
Oh, go ahead.
Melissa Raymondetta, Lakeside Drive, Bridgewater. I just have a question because this is riverfront area, right? But it's being referred to as wetland buffer. Don't we have a 200-foot riverfront area here?
Yep. If I
Okay.
could address that, Madam Chair?
Sure, thank you.
The riverfront area was delineated. There's a 100-foot riparian and a 200-foot riparian zone. The 200-foot riparian zone, in most cases, falls within the BVW. So the commission's 25, 50, and 100-foot buffer zones are more restrictive than the 200-foot riparian zone in this case. Not always the case, but in this case, that's what happened. So we're nowhere close. We're not doing any work at all within the 200-foot riverfront area.
Excellent. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, they're completely out of it.
It's a good question. We had another South Street one that was a touchy thing with the river.
Sure.
Anyone else have a question, concern, thought?
I'm not seeing anyone, Chair.
Okay. All right.
All
thank
right,
you.
then, I would make a motion to, oh, I don't have an upgraded calendar.
123.
123, thanks. I'll make a motion to continue to next meeting, 123. And myself and Harry will get out there on that line.
Okay,
Do I
thanks.
have a second?
Second,
Excellent. And a roll call. Do I do a roll call vote or no?
Yeah. Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Roll call. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Marilyn?
Aye.
Harry? And myself, Wendy. Aye.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you, folks.
Thank you very much. We'll see
All
you.
right, thank you for your help.
Scott.
See you in a couple of weeks. Have a good evening.
All right, you
You
too.
too
Thank
now.
you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, next up, we have Conservation Commission business. So we have administrative items. We have a certificate of compliance for 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21. Applicant representative is Paul Laporte, Collins Civil Engineering Group. And the DEP file number is SE 116-1553. I don't know, Caitlin, do you want to say anything? Like, I mean, usually the COCs, they've already gone through everything and all is good, but like I'm just not sure on this one.
Yeah, this one is all set. Both of them are
Both the
complete for
COCs.
us on our end, so
Okay,
we're good to make a vote.
all right. So can I have a motion to accept?
Yeah, we will make a motion for
Issue.
certificate of
Issue.
compliance, 283 Vernon Street, map 85, lot 21. Accept.
Sorry, Harry. Did you second?
Harry second.
Okay, great. And
To issue, I meant to say to issue, but
issue,
yes.
yeah. Well, I at first said accept and then I corrected myself and said issue, but you had already started.
And Harry's on a roll with the phone, man. He's seconding right
Great.
there.
All right, do we have a roll, do we need a roll call vote?
Yes, we do it.
Of course we do. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. All right, excellent. Certificate of compliance, 283, done. How about the certificate of compliance for 9 South Farm Way, map 125, lot 89-1. Applicant representative is Royu Andrade, Michael J. Koska and Associates, and the DEP file number is SE 116-1500.
I'll make a motion, as Caitlin said, this one is in order, so motion to issue certificate of compliance, 9 Southway Farm Way, map 125, lot 89-1. Yeah,
Thank you, Harry. And a roll call vote, Marilyn,
aye.
Harry, and myself, Wendy, aye. Thank you. All right, so those are all set. Next up, we have an ORAD extension request for 0 Plymouth Street. And I'm gonna let Marilyn talk this one because she's a little more clear on the needing to up it up.
Yeah, my own, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna throw it back to Caitlin. We just wanted to verify, the last one we had on file was from the 18th, so we need to verify the extension of the one like, the one afterwards, so I know
1920
Yeah, I believe
1921.
Rebecca is on to
Rebecca on to, oh, is she?
verify with us.
I didn't
Yeah.
even see Rebecca, sorry.
I was hiding. Okay, so I did share with Caitlin the meeting minutes, and I can put them on the screen if you want a visual. I also did share a document that was recorded that was supposed to approve the recording of it, but it was a modified document. Just go by the meeting minutes. It was unanimous to extend it for 3 years. We put this request in because we do expire this month. And then the governor did enact a 2-year extension. So we would be requesting that we didn't have to, but while we're here, can we get the 2 years that the Healy had granted in her Extension Act? So I can put it on the screen. I can show you whatever you want to see. This is one that I actually walked with Azu when he was your agent.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that the one after 18, that you guys upped one after that. You get the minutes or something you could.
Yep, I can.
Oh, the deed, it was
whatever you need.
deeded.
If Caitlin
Whatever you-
let me in.
Yeah, let me.
Let
I
me
will
in, let me
show
in,
you
let me in.
whatever you need.
All right. You're all set, Rebecca. You can share.
All right, let's start the story. Let's see. Anrad plan, let's go
Is this a
here.
bedtime story?
It's a bit, yeah, should be. Dinner first and then bedtime. All right. All right. This is the plan. This is the property. Right?
Mhm.
Confirm?
Confirm.
Okay, good. It was flagged by some of it was Walter Hewison, some of it was Brooke Monroe, some of it was argued by Azu. All right, so we got this approved 2018, 2021, we got 3 years. So, and then go into the folder. That's the letter asking for it. That's the agenda. Hang on. Whoop. Meeting minutes. When Solo was agent. Coming up. Okay. At the meeting on January 13th, 2022. Just before it expired. We did. Hang on, we're getting there. Way down the agenda. Extension request, 0 Plymouth Street, Silver Engineering, 116-1431. Sobo suggested the issuance, roll call vote, yes. And
Okay.
then we actually, Sobel did issue this extension permit orders, but it wasn't the right document. But it was the right SE number, so it was recorded anyway.
Did you guys ever deed it or you just kept it as an extension?
It was recorded,
Okay, perfect.
but
Thank
because I
you.
had the DEP number for the ANRAD, it was weird. But it was
Yeah, we just needed to make sure that there was one extended in between the 18.
Yep, so this is the date it would have expired, but we submitted it before you, and you didn't have meetings, so. But now the governor has enacted the 2-year extension. If y'all haven't read it, didn't know about it, I can show that to you too. Would you like to see
Oh,
that?
yeah, I know she extended.
Right?
Good.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
Yep. So we're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just put it on the screen anyway. So any permit in existence between January 1, 2023 to January 1, 2025 is now extended for a 2-year period. In addition to the lawful term of the approval, but we're just looking for 2 years.
Okay, but now I get confused. Aren't you already technically extended for 2 years with the new governor's thing?
Yes, but we did
You
this.
just want our blessing?
We did this before 2 days. We requested this 2 days before she issued it. So
Oh, yeah, January.
we're already here. Can you just bless it and then we can move on?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with extending it. Let me get mine.
I don't either.
Yep, hold on, let me make a motion with the exact thing on it. Oh, it's 0 Plymouth. ORAD extension for 0 Plymouth.
Second.
Thank you,
Okay.
Harry.
And that would be, we'll close, well, it's not a hearing anyway. We'll just, for 2 years. So 0 extension, request for 2 years. And we got a second on it, so roll call vote.
Yep, roll call vote, Marilyn McDonald,
Aye.
Harry Bailey. And myself, Wendy Smith. Aye.
Thank you.
All set.
Thank you for
Oh, 2
providing that.
years,
Thank-
2 years. That brings us to January of
Don't say it.
27.
Don't say it.
I retire in 27. I'm
No.
very excited.
Excellent. We'll
Good,
have
it's
this
good.
conversation again when you retire.
Oh, okay, so you're all set with the extension then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca.
All right, Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too.
Happy New Year, yep.
I beat you to it, Marilyn.
I know you did.
I did. Okay, so next up we have Lake Shore cease and desist, and Marilyn, or Caitlin, either one of you. Caitlin, maybe? Did you
Yeah,
have-
so I can-
Because I'm a little confused on it too.
Yeah, so I can touch on this. So our last meeting in November, I wasn't here, but Bob had mentioned possibly taking the route of issuing a certificate of non-compliance and then having to file a new NOI to have a fresh application and do another set of order of conditions.
Mhm.
However, I wasn't really sure if that's the way we should navigate it. And I did contact DEP just to kind of get some insight about how to handle something like that. Obviously, they can't tell me what to do, but I figured, they might have some helpful tips. And I think the way to go with this is, since it is a violation, we can issue an enforcement order. And with the enforcement order, we can come up with a vegetative management plan. And once they are in compliance with the vegetative management plan, we can then issue them a certificate of compliance once we bring them back into compliance.
And then they would come back with a new notice of intent because they have to have an order of condition on file actively to continue to do any work out in that area by the NIP. Okay. All right. Well, now I'm not confused anymore. Okay. Thank you.
So I just want to repeat it. So since there was a violation, we had the violation, we can now issue an enforcement order, give them a vegetative plan. And once it's done, they come back to us.
Yes, so we would issue an enforcement order, and then along with that, come up with a plan that they have to abide by. Once they do that, they can be brought back into compliance, so then they can get that COC that they're looking for.
Caitlin, my only question on that is I think they have to come up with the VMP. In other words, Conservation Commission doesn't make VMPs. Those are specialty things like a
Okay, yeah.
like an SRMP or something like that. So they would
Gotcha.
have to present us with the vegetative management plan
And that would come before the board and you
and
guys.
come to the board, and that we would
Okay.
look at that VMP and say, yep, we like this VMP, issue that VMP, get them into compliance. And then once they're in compliance, they're gonna need a notice of intent to come back in. That gets the old number off. So you can't have two numbers. That gets the old number off once we come into compliance. And then their order of conditions of moving forward, with the times of the year that they're gonna do it, putting in, somebody on site, things like that. So I think we're on the right track now.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that.
All right. So that's all we need to discuss with that, correct? Because
Yeah, I just wanted to address that because at the last meeting, a different plan was stated. So I figured I would just give my take on that and, see what the board thinks of that.
Okay.
Do you want us to vote for the issuance of the enforcement order? And
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea just to, make sure the board is all set with that and that's the route we want to take.
I will make a motion for Lakeshore Drive on, do we have an exact date on that? Is it 0 Lakeshore Drive or? that you can look up when need be, but I'll make a motion that we issue the owner, an enforcement order and to submit to the Board of Conservation, an updated VMP, vegetative management plan, for our review. And in the meantime, the enforcement order and the cease and desist remain in full and place. No work to be done.
Okay,
Harry? Thank you.
all right, excellent. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry. And myself, Wendy, aye.
All right, good.
Yep, I like that. Okay. Next up, we have DOT. We have the Vernon Street Bridge clearing and dumping discussion. Are you speaking on that, Caitlin, or is somebody from Department of Transportation on? Or,
I don't think anybody from the department is on, so I can speak on that. So we received a letter from T.Y. Lin on behalf of Mass DOT, just notifying the commission that preliminary stream bed sampling for the rehabilitation of the Vernon Street Bridge over the Taunton River is going to occur. And they said that rehab includes replacement of existing bridge superstructure and existing abutment scour assessment. So they need stream bed samples to determine grain size, distribution, and stream bed materials used in their scour assessment. And in the letter, let's see. So sampling of the stream bed will take place directly under the bridge, and approximately 265 feet upstream within the riverbed and immediately upstream of the bridge at bank locations. And I just want to note that in the Wetlands Protection Act, the work that they're doing is exempt, so they don't need, approval from us or anything. It's just kind of a, hey, this is gonna be happening, just to let us know, keep us in the loop.
yep. Okay. Any questions, Marilyn, Harry?
No, I'm good.
That's the Taunton River?
Yes.
Yes.
The Taunton River?
Vernon Street, Harry, over Taunton River.
Okay.
Street, notice of
There's
preliminary
still
stream.
a 200-foot buffer on all the Taunton River. So I think they're gonna have to get, approval. And the Taunton River's meeting in 20 minutes, so
Oh,
I'm not going tonight, so.
Is that for stream sampling, Harry? Because you know best when it comes to the Taunton River.
They're doing work going on the bridge, right?
They're sampling the stream.
Oh,
because they have to redo, I think they're redoing the
They're
bridge.
not doing any uprooting of any materials, yeah.
Now, according to the letter, it just looks like they're sampling, right, Caitlin, at this point?
Yeah, sampling the stream bed and portions of the bank.
The Taunton River, watershed samples it every month anyway, so. They do it at 6 in the morning. Maybe, I think there's like almost 40 places along the river that they sample every month. So,
Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, so Caitlin, you didn't need anything from us, just making us aware then?
Nope, they just sent us a letter. Like I said, under the Wetlands Protection Act, the work that they're doing is exempt. They're just giving us a heads up.
Yep, the currency. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay, so next up, we have Zero Bedford, map 112, lot 9. It's an enforcement order update. Who has that update? You have that, Caitlin?
Marilyn, do you want to or do you want me to?
You start. I'm pulling my hair out on this one.
Now, let
Okay.
me just clarify, is this the one that's up across from the skating rink?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So, Marilyn and I went out there on Wednesday, just to check up on things. And it doesn't look like any other fill has been dumped. No more wood chips added to the pile, so it doesn't look like any activity occurred. So at this point, I still haven't heard back from the owner. And subsequent to our last meeting, I did send out another notice to him, just saying, reiterating what we said in the initial enforcement that we sent. And we hadn't heard back from him to contact us immediately. And yeah, as of right now, I haven't heard back from him. I also did send the owner a lab invoice because the fill that he dumped in the wetlands, we did end up getting laboratory analysis just to check up on things. So we sent him that lab invoice as well. And there is an issue with one of the stockpiles having elevated concentrations of lead. And I did loop in Mass DEP, because, you know, there's certain, timelines for when you should report that kind of thing. So I kept them in the loop with that. And as of right now, they said, you know, kind of wait on things. What I did do is I talked to Whitney, and she had mentioned to me that Mass DEP has a strike force that kind of helps with these things when you can't reach owners. So I haven't heard back from them yet. Whitney said she did forward it. She did confirm that with me. She forwarded it to the strike force. So I'm just waiting to get some feedback from them to see if they can get a hold of the owner, get any more information for us. So that's where it kind of stands right now. Marilyn, I don't know if you want to add anything or.
Oh, good job. The only thing I would add, at this point, we could probably send like a constable to that address, you know, where they're not responding back. So that would be my next suggestion. Like I said, we've done everything else. Notified DEP. DEP had a great idea with the task force. There's other samplings like the DEP would want on that soil that, just is more broader than what we did. So basically, you did send out an enforcement to that address, right, Caitlin?
We did, yes.
Yeah, so it's got the enforcement on it. We go out there and reinforce the tape now and then, and we'll put up another order out there because the wind and the cold kind of took it down. But it's trying to get a hold of these owners. So Caitlin went with the big guns and went with DEP strike force too. So hopefully between that, but I would suggest, and I talked to the office about sending a constable out with the letter because they've gotta come in on this. They've got to address that's a big violation. They have to be responsible for taking that soil out and making sure it goes to a proper home. So hopefully, again, hear from them soon, but
Hopefully.
that would be my
Meantime,
suggestion.
we'll just keep an eye
Harry,
on it when we're out driving around and just keep an eye.
yeah, between being sick over the holiday and everything, I hadn't been out there. So we actually took a spin out Wednesday while me and Caitlin were doing the site walks.
Yeah.
Harry, I know you working down the street. Have you been keeping your eyes on it? Your safety
Yeah.
plank was still there, so we know that no. It doesn't look like any more
You
fill.
like that one, don't you?
We love that one, yeah.
Okay, and when we do get a hold of them, he's got a bunch of trees to plant too.
Oh yeah, I mean they took down well over an this is not good. So yeah, we desperately need to get the owner on site.
Okay.
But I think at this point, the only other thing I can think of is a constable to, have somebody visibly go and hand that. But you've really done everything else that you need to, Caitlin. Enforcement was done. DEP's involved. They're reaching out with their strike force. So at this point, our hands are kind of tied until we get them. Just people be diligent if they're in that area driving by, see something, call.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I do know, I can confirm, sorry, an emergency vehicle is going by.
I was gonna say you had a
I
red light
can
on.
confirm that the owner did receive everything that we sent to him because I did send it certified mail, so I did get that stub back. So I know, he's seen it, he's aware of it. We, like I said, we just he hasn't called the office, hasn't showed up to meetings. So yeah, hopefully something's got to give. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Thanks. Next up, we have Zero State Prison Road, Rainbow's End update.
Yeah, I can touch on that as well. Since our last meeting in November, work has commenced at the site. So I know they staged equipment on January 3rd, which was Friday of last week. And work actually began on Monday of this week, January 6th. And Mass DEP's on site, it's kind of in their hands. So they're always on site with them. They're overseeing that. But I just wanted to give an update that work did start. And Mass DEP said it was projected to take around 10 business days.
Well, that's it.
Yep.
I didn't even think they'd be able to do anything. Well, they have to plant. Do they come back for that, or are they able to do that in this cold weather? Because they're supposed to plant whatever kind of grass that we decide.
Right.
Take the
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can lay that down at the moment. Marilyn, do you
No,
know?
they'd come back for that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We can
Yeah.
take it.
Okay, well, that's good. They'll be out of the way for when soccer, it'll be all done.
Yep.
Yep, perfect timing.
Yep.
And I think you said that you notified the soccer administrator there, so everybody knows, everybody's on.
All right, excellent. Thanks for the update on that. We only have a couple things left. Next up is, it's on the agenda, the open meeting law complaints discussion.
So how do we want to do this? I can speak, you know, give some background on it. Do you want me to read out the descriptions of the open meeting laws? Do you want me to pull that up?
I don't think there's a need to.
Yeah,
We don't need to? Okay. I just want to make sure we're going about it the right way.
At the beginning of every meeting, what do I hear? That this meeting is being recorded? That is our minutes. All these meetings are recorded. That acts as our minutes. So when he says we don't have any, yes, we do.
Okay. So let me just address, we received 2 open meeting law complaints. The first one, the date of the alleged violation is March 7th, 2024. And instead of, reading the whole summary, I'll summarize it.
Okay.
So, basically, there was an error with a correspondence we received on May 7th. It was dated wrong. It said March 7th instead of May 7th. And so in March of 2024, the issue of a third-party review hadn't been raised. That was what the complaint was about. And how, the dates were kind of wrong, but at that point, the third-party review wasn't even raised. So it was just a clerical error. The date was just written wrong. So, that's really it with the first one. And then the second violation, let's see what the date was. Date of alleged violation is May 9th, 2024. And basically, in summary, it was regarding bylaws and separate funding, things like that, that aren't really connected to open meeting law at all. So, there's no open meeting laws to cite for this one, so it's really not an open meeting law violation.
All right. Okay, Marilyn, any question, comment, or Harry? I don't have any.
oh, these are not,
He even came to the community preservation meeting.
Can you repeat what he said? I didn't hear it clearly. Marilyn.
I can't hear you, Harry, want to say something again?
Okay. He even came to the community preservation meeting, CPC meeting, and I know he's been bothering the Board of Health on the same issues.
You're talking about the person that made a complaint?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's keep it, I'm just gonna keep mine to the complaint. I don't believe these are open meeting law complaints. When we all got the message on Monday, May 6th, that the second, which BSC was in, and the second LSC stuff was coming in. March 7th, May 7th is a typo. And then, conservation didn't have an agent, didn't have a lot of staff to be working with. I am diligent when it comes to escrow fund, stuff like that. Moving forward, hey, we'll just remind if we do a third party that they have to do an escrow fund. Nothing was an open meeting law and nothing was done in intent. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I think we've got that information out. Right? Anything else, Caitlin, or we're good?
I think we're all good with that.
Okay, excellent. Next up, we have 2025 Conservation Commission meeting schedule. I spoke with Marilyn about this a little bit earlier, or she spoke with me about it, and the only thing, the schedule for the meetings looks fine. It is what it is, right? The second and fourth of the month. But we, again, at the end of this year, November and December only have the one meeting. So, we just might need to be aware and possibility of needing an extra meeting depending on, if we have a lot, so that we don't run into kind of what we ran into this December when we missed a whole meeting, and then it was like 2 months and we had to throw in the special meeting. So just that may come about again. That's all.
Well, I can, maybe to kind of remedy that, do we want to throw out a week? It doesn't have to be the second or fourth. Maybe we could just say for November and December, since we only have one meeting, we can just add an extra one that doesn't fall on the holidays, maybe it'll be twice in a row, but
We can do a to be determined too. So
Yeah.
that, like, so we've done this in the past because years can be very funny. You might not have anything on your agenda towards the end of the year, and you're fine with that one meeting when you go back to back with one meetings. Or if we're finding going into December that we have a lot on those agendas and we got to keep the applicants and everybody moving, we can then vote on that meeting to add another meeting. So leaving it open to be determined, because we don't know what our filings are going to be in a year from now. But it just gives us the flexibility to say, okay, we might need to, add a meeting in either the end of November or December, so there could be 3 instead of 2. So that's all.
So then would it be, would it be something that Caitlin can put in like an extra November meeting and just put a TBD?
I think we would know by, I think you would know by November 13th what's on our agenda. If we have a full agenda and then we're waiting to go all the way a full month, that's when we can do it on that meeting. We can make an announcement on that meeting, giving everybody a heads up that we're going to add another meeting, in probably the early December or whatever, so that we have the guidance to announce it on a meeting.
Yeah.
And like I say, I don't want to put in a third if we have nothing to go with.
Yeah. And December gets really busy, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all, just to, put it as an FYI. Harry, you good with
Oh,
that?
do we have to vote on that?
you do have to vote on it, yes.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Can I
So
make a
Harry
motion
just
here?
said he likes.
He
the
likes
idea
that.
of
Okay,
Just
yep.
adding it in if we need to, voting on it near that time.
Yeah.
All right, so, can I have a motion to approve the schedule for the Conservation Commission?
Motion to approve the 2025 Conservation Commission schedule, noting that if we need to be determined at the end of the year, another meeting would be added. We're good with that.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. All right, thanks for that. Next up, lastly, we have minutes. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know if I just say, did we get a chance to look through them? Are we comfortable with them? I just had one thing that I sent to you, Caitlin. It was with 2 of the earlier ones
Gotcha.
that maybe could be fixed. It's in an
Okay.
email I sent back to you.
Gotcha.
But that's the only ones that, because I never make the motions or the seconds, so that's the only thing that I could see that would need to be
Gotcha.
fixed. Otherwise, everything else looked pretty good to me. Hopefully I didn't miss anything major, but I don't think so. Marilyn, did you get a chance to look them over?
Yep, I'm fine with them. That was
Okay.
the same catch.
All right.
But
And-
sometimes we gobble it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
It was an end of a meeting.
And Harry, did you get a chance to look over the meetings minutes?
I glanced through them, they look fine.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And Caitlin, big thank you for getting all those up and running.
All them done, I know this.
Coming in with 2 towns and everything, but moving forward, we know we'll have them on a timely basis. So
Yeah, it'll be
so
easier
all's
now
good.
not having a heap of them when I first start. One will
Yeah.
be manageable per meeting.
And have to
All's
listen
good.
to all them? No, thank you.
All's good, yeah. So I don't foresee that happening again. So thank you.
So Do I have to read out the individual times or can we just say that the minutes are accepted?
Make a motion just to, as presented on agenda, which is one,
Oh,
two,
okay, that sounds
four,
good.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're good with that, Caitlin, I'll make a motion as
Yeah.
presented on agenda. Okay, I'll make a motion for approval of minutes under the agenda D minutes for the number of 12 as presented from 6/13/24 down to 12/23/24.
Second,
Thank you. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
and myself, Wendy. Aye.
All
Excellent.
right.
Thank you so much. And then, good
Any other-
meeting. Not too bad for it being we had a lot. We covered a lot. Very
Fine.
good. All right.
I just have one question for Caitlin. I don't know if you've heard anything. Are they putting us back live after March? Do you know?
So I don't think that is settled on yet, because this came up, I don't remember if I was in Bridgewater or Halifax. It might have been in Halifax where this was talked about. Yeah, I
Halifax is
don't,
live.
yeah, I don't think they've come to a determination. I forget who I was talking to. But
thought
they
I heard
said we
Flavor
would
Flav.
probably hear within a few weeks before that March date, where we're supposed to know, we'll probably hear. But yeah, as of right now, it's not settled on, whether
So
or
it's a
not
stay
we're-
tuned.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
Hmm.
All right,
All
then
right.
I guess, Harry, you got anything?
No, I'm fine.
All right, then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
And third,
All in favor?
all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right,
Harry,
thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Being
you for
here.
being on the phone so we could have the quorum. That worked well. Thank you so much, Harry.
I think the phone works better.
Oh, I guess so. It works fine. All right, Harry, I'll give you a buzz on that other walk. Thank you guys very much. Happy
Yep.
New Year, everybody.
Thanks all.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.